stuff, but somehow between kindergarten and college, we remove every ounce of choice from our learning. And if you think about how college courses get planned, if a prof is asked to create a new course, who sets the goals? Well, professor sits down and says the goals for this class are X, Y, and Z. Who establishes what the content is going to be for the class? The teacher chooses. Who chooses the strategies, the pedagogical approach, or the process by which learning is going to happen? The teacher chooses. Who tells you what you're going to turn in? The teacher. Who tells you why it's important to learn all this stuff? The teacher. Who's in control of grading? Teacher. Who sets the schedule? The teacher. Who tells you when you're allowed to interact with people and when you're not, and how you should go about doing that? The teacher. Who tells you what resources you're allowed to use and which ones you're not? The teacher. And then finally, who designs the space in which you're learning? The teacher. So you've turned all these possible areas of learner choice and autonomy down to zero. What do you end up with? Well, we all know what this looks like. It looks like the typical college classroom. There is another way. So if we go back to 1969, Carl Rogers, in his book Freedom to Learn, said that there's an implicit assumption in education that the student cannot be trusted with his own learning. If Carl were here today, I'd say, Carl, listen, man, a lot has changed since '69. This is no longer implicit. We've actually made this an explicit assumption. So what we're looking at here is an extreme lack of trust of learners. We don't trust them to do anything, to make any choices. And I think we need to think very seriously about that.